You know what? Let's test them again. Straight. Age concern pops in your show one time.
That's fine.
Okay. Put it in the first place. Yeah. He's gonna love you.
Oh, it's gone. Yeah, I'm ready, bro.
Come on. So Cole come through. Well, quarter to two.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, quarter to 2. Juice. Two.
Again.
Keep going. I know it's you.
Okay.
If I was you, I would not invite you. I said, go over there. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I think I'm joking.
The handcuffs. Be careful now.
Yeah, it's that time. So, I didn't know it was 3 of them. That's why I thought it was 2. I didn't know it was 3 of them. There. Right now, wish I would say, go save your time. Trust
No,
me.
I'm leaving.
No, you need to review. She is.
Okay.
Good afternoon, folks. Hey, you took it.
Huh?
Old School Fridays in the morning and Friday flashbacks with John.
You never tell your cousin Norris, right?
Old School, all popping up right here on your big station, Power 95, 94.9 FM. You're watching Power 95, Bermuda's big station at 94.9 FM, our Bermuda Broadcasting Company station. For the next 90 minutes, join Homeside Sports Talk Radio on Power 95 FM. Presented to you by Colonial Group International, Atlantic Way, Windows Coca-Cola, and Paradigm Wellness Solutions. Let's now go live in studio. Host Ian Roberts and co-host Earl Beasley.
And good afternoon and welcome to Inside Sports Talk Radio on this Monday. It is October the 9th already. Oh my God, time's flying. With me in the studio is my co-host, Mr. Earl Beasley. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Warren. How are you?
I'm good. You got blue and blue on again.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
I'm just saying you got blue and blue. That's what I'm
Don't
saying.
worry about that. Every day. Every day.
I'll give you a little red, help you out.
What's that?
Give you a little red.
Manchester United red?
No.
Oh, okay. I figured that.
No.
Both of you were red, don't you?
Right? But
Oh, okay.
I'm going to
Okay.
give you red and blue.
Huh?
Red and blue.
Okay.
Somerset.
Okay.
Okay.
On to next.
On to the next. Good. All right. It means you got a soft weekend. You didn't do any work then.
Hmm?
It means you had a soft weekend. Because you're not bantering.
There were 11 sports locally won this weekend.
11 events.
Yeah.
You covered all 11.
Yes, I did.
I'm not surprised. Well done.
Well, that's what I get
Good.
paid to do.
That's true. Get paid well. You do a good job.
Thank
Keep
you.
up the good work.
I try.
ESPN's calling you.
Never know.
No? You sure?
99.9% sure.
Okay, 0.1% is not.
It's always a little bit of hope. Yeah, it's always a little bit of hope.
Okay, good. Other than that, you had a good weekend?
Yeah, it's been an eventful one.
Yeah?
Yeah, looking forward to this one.
Good.
Special one this week.
Why's that?
Got a few special things happening.
Birthday?
No.
Birthday pass, right?
Yeah.
The birthday pass?
Bingo.
When was it?
I'm so old now I can't remember.
No, because you're not the same age. So it was
You remember when you were?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have to write it down?
Yes.
Oh, okay. See, I don't
Actually, I don't write it down. I put it in my phone now.
For your birthday?
Exactly.
For your own birthday?
My own birthday.
Oh, see?
That's right.
That's the problem.
So your birthday was in September or October?
September.
Oh.
Yeah.
September when?
23rd.
Okay. Happy belated birthday. All right. So you are 15.
Something like that.
All right.
If you want to say that.
All right.
If we were 15 again, knowing what we know, oh my goodness.
I think this world be in trouble.
Yes, it
You
would.
think number 45 be dangerous? We'll put him to the third.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll put him to the third. So we got some special guests in the studio today. We've got a good lineup of guests that will be joining us on Inside Sports Talk Radio. We've got the Special Olympics event that's coming up. We've got, I think, the marketing person, which is called Alicia Zul, about 1:45, and we have some fine people in the studio right now, some police officers. I think it's Terry the Painter and the gentleman. Your name is
Constable Anton Gilbert.
sorry, please put on your headsets. I forgot to tell you, Constable Anton Gilbert, and the young lady. I just don't know her name. I'm lost for words. I don't know her name, but I've seen her all around town. Can't even fit on her hair because the biggie. There you go.
She'll figure it out.
She'll figure it out. And your name is, ma'am?
Serena Sumner.
Serena Sumner. I know you. I know your husband. That's how I know you.
You sure?
Are you sure?
Yes.
You're talking to Earl, because I've never seen you in my life.
You help babysit me.
No, he definitely.
Oh, that's. He didn't write that. He didn't put that in his phone. See,
No.
Right in his phone, so he don't remember. See?
I don't remember.
He remembers.
I didn't get paid well, that's for sure. Well, you guys are here to talk about the Special Olympic event that's happening this coming Saturday, correct?
Yes.
Right. We're going to talk about more of that, and it's a special occasion. I think that Bermuda should take a part in this because without them, this wouldn't be possible. The Special Olympics, they put something out every year, and it's an event that I think is happening at the National Sports Center. Cool. I don't have my notes with me. I was trying to print it off, and my printer's not working, so I'm going off the top of my head. You can help me out,
You
right?
sure you don't need it?
I'll never do it. Look what you're going. See?
That was back in the day.
That's why I didn't want to hear it, right? Had I known you were coming, see? I need to talk to your husband, God. Mercy.
What's she trying to say? She knew.
She said a babysitter. So that's the scary part. I know her cousin. Right? I know I know a few of her cousins. But I don't know her.
Okay. Put it in your phone so you can remember.
No. I knew my cousin-in-law she married.
Okay.
Well, she'd be my cousin. I take that back. She married my cousin. Yeah. I know him.
Okay.
But I don't know her.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got a few minutes to get to know who she is.
That's scary. So, and now that the conclusion of the Powerboat Association season has come down, we speak to Commodore Kim McCallan, who's going to speak with, I think, via phone, or she may come to the studio just to recap on the season that she had also been Commodore for the first time. Obviously, this year was different compared to the past with the America's Cup being on board. The schedule had changed, and the events were postponed, not drastically, but here and there. And then challenge, obviously, the annual round down in boat race, but there's some things in store going forward for the Powerboat Association for 2019 and beyond, 2018, excuse me, and beyond, and things of that sort. And what's on tap with you, sir?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm sports out, man.
You sports up?
Yeah.
Any special guests coming to the studio today?
Today?
Yeah.
April
12th, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Health and fitness.
Because she's got to finish off what she started last week, and that was the stretch. She done stretches last week, but
Right.
she's talking about the second one.
I can't remember. Yeah, I know we put that
There
with
was-
nutrition,
right.
and then the stretching, right?
It was 10 things she was going to read off today, but we'll find that
We'll
out.
find out, yeah, which is obviously important. You know, I had to go work out this morning. I did.
After yesterday.
No, I didn't train yesterday. I think
So that's what I'm
Sunday.
saying. That's what after
Oh
yesterday.
yeah. I go pray on Sunday. Yeah. So,
I
that's
spent a
right.
lot of time on your knees, didn't you?
The Muslims do what, 5-6 times a day? I was there, bro. 5-6 times a day.
Hey, for you, it's 5-6 hours.
Oh boy. You sure?
Well,
That's what you hear.
I'll leave that one alone.
Leave that one down. Okay. Also, this month is the annual, not the annual, I'm sorry, I take it back. The Bermuda Football Association is bringing an international match on October 28th versus Barbados.
Mm-hmm.
That is at the National Sports Center. That's Saturday. I think gates open up at 6:30
Match at
and
8.
p.m. So it'd be good to have an international match here. We haven't had one in a while, so the president, Mark Wade, and his committee is working behind the scenes making sure this happens. So you just make an effort to get out there on the 28th of October. It would be quite interesting to see what Bermuda can produce on the international scene.
Mm-hmm. It's a friendly, but it's a chance for the players to get in some international competition, which is always a good thing. I think we're going to use a lot of locally based players to give them the opportunity to have a look see. It comes at the same time that the under 17 girls will be off island. They leave, I believe, this weekend coming up. Hopefully that team is announced very soon in the second round of the World Cup qualifiers. So, we'll see.
Speaking of World Cup qualifiers, some teams progressed yesterday. England made it to the field of World Cup 2018 in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Germany made it yesterday. Poland. So the pool of 64 is starting to slim down.
Mm-hmm.
There's some games that are going to be played today and some games tomorrow. I think that's the final spots. I could be wrong. But are there more matches for the World Cup?
I believe there's going to have to be
Playoffs.
right. There's playoffs, and then I believe there's 2 matches that will be replayed because of appeals being made. I know.
Except as a referee?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
That's
So,
right.
Depending on how they work that out, we'll see how it goes.
Okay. So the final round, or say the pool of 64, should be announced within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. Don't even have to be announced. They just make it.
Well, you make it. That's what I'm saying. The final, right?
I guess the biggest story and what's going around is the fact that Argentina may not make it.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
United States have all but put themselves in a position to advance.
Right. They play Trinidad either today
Tomorrow.
or tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Right. And Trinidad's on the bottom.
Yeah.
Gary Marino. Oh, you got him right now. Huh?
He's not the only one.
You're not the only one. Okay. Well, I'm sure he'll give me some slack on it.
Sure.
He'll give me some slack, I'm sure. So that's okay.
His Tottenham are doing well, so.
Yeah, they are. I see.
You know, his comeback years, are they ahead of United? I mean,
Ahead of
Liverpool?
Liverpool? Yeah, they
Okay.
are. I play Man United this coming Saturday at Anfield. Then I travel down to the White Hart Lane. No, it's the stadium now, right? London Stadium. And take on Tottenham next week.
For your sake,
Uh-huh.
I hope it's 6 points in your favor. You got a person from there.
You're feeling sorry for me now?
Well, yeah.
How long have I known you?
Well, you know what? You can't be like your local team. You ain't scored a goal in 5 years.
Well, is it coming to the 49ers? They ain't won a football game. So
Listen.
the 49ers, my Trojans.
And all of them were red.
And they're all red.
Yeah. So, what to tell you? Come on the blue side, brother. Come on the blue side, brother. Come over. I ain't trying to recruit nobody, but if you want your luck, come on. Yeah. We'll take you in.
You take me in.
Yeah, we'll take you in.
Is there a fee? Is there a fee?
No.
Alright. So I tell you,
Humanitarian.
I have time to think about this. I have time to think about it.
Humanitarian.
Humanitarian.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I have time to think about it.
Yeah. Doors always open.
Alright, so give me 50 plus more years. Then
Just
I
knock.
make my decision.
Just knock, brother. I know you'll be knocking soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Soon and very soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Dream on. Then they have it. Well, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have the opportunity to speak to representatives of the Special Olympics. As we mentioned already, the event gets underway this Saturday, and we've got representatives from the police department here, and Mr. Zool, and some young lady, Sumner, here. I don't know who she's representing, but she's going to be a part of this conversation we have regarding the Special Olympics. We'll take a commercial break, and we'll be back after this.
Inside Sports Talk Radio has been presented to you by
Just talk smash. Have fun.
I can tell.
And girls, easy to walk.
Yes, it is, right? Today.
But by the way, the best thing is it's the word
Our
to
lives
see.
are busy, more complicated. So
Busy
busy the
that
health
it's
plan is
so
easy to
Yeah, that's
use.
good. Well, lie. I know I'm gonna come back to that, right? You know, I'll come back to the lie. That was a bet.
Enrollment is
Oh,
online too.
sorry.
70%
Um,
of claims are made at home.
that's the thing. Some of Steve Wilkes enjoys so much more.
Now you gotta think about it.
Yeah, I gotta think about this one, Terry, because I'm coming back. Yeah, okay.
Might take him a little while, but then yeah, that's all right. Take care.
CGIGroup.com. When it's time for a really satisfying meal, there's really nothing quite like chicken. We take the quality to a higher level with Coleman Organic Chicken. Coleman have been serious about clean, humane methods of chicken rearing since 1875. They insist on stringent quality control of all phases of the bird's development to make it taste the difference. Try Coleman Organic Chicken drumsticks.
I've been doing chicken Thursday and Friday afternoons with stomach talking
But
but I got the email from
chicken
this morning.
and breaded chicken breast
Oh.
nuggets, tenders, and strips. Zindos. Why really place out?
Calling all players. What time is
I'm
it?
public
It's
relations
game time.
officer.
Fun and
I know
dependable
that's
sports
maybe.
betting on
She's
NFL,
the
Actually,
NBA, Major
Anton,
League Baseball,
Kenton, you have
Come down.
Alicia's
Premier League, and
Number?
more.
number?
We
Tell her to call
Cherry, come
292 9595.
with our weekly draw.
Don't
What
listen.
kind of game time special?
Hey, Sumner, where you been, Passion Wall? Please just the hurt me already.
Alright.
Time.pm or call
Okay,
296
where's the
Game time. You play, we play. Game time is a socially responsible gaming establishment.
We're starting at some script club.
One start at some. Where I thought they were doing
Education and
Yeah, it starts at some strip club now, not at Marketplace.
and where they starting at some
145.
in the square. In the square.
I can't remember the stop.
And be updated on events
Hi.
organized
Like this, somebody? Hand
by the
right?
host of Jeff
Tell her 292 9595.
Inspire 105.
Yeah, he
This
knows.
one starting October
Someone's
10th
supposed
at
to tell
1
he
p.m.
knows.
Let your old and
Here we
new
go, dear.
go.
Now, back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. Inside Sports Talk Radio on Power 95 FM with
Am I
host
supposed to
Ian
know?
Rollins and co-host Earl Beaster.
And welcome back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. As we mentioned just before the break, we have lovely guests, or three lovely guests in the studio, to talk about the Special Olympics. Who would like to go first? Because we've got two headsets. We're going to start. Actually, you know what? I'll start with Lady Sumner first, since she's ready. The PR. Explain to us how important the Special Olympics is all about, and why is it so important that we take a part in this event on Saturday coming.
Okay, well, the Special Olympics is a need that Bermuda has for those children and adults that have disabilities.
Right.
So it gives them an opportunity that they otherwise wouldn't have, based on their developmental disabilities. Some of them have physical disabilities, but for the most part, it's for intellectual/developmental disabilities. And it just gives them another avenue to kind of express themselves in fun competition.
This is an event that they look forward to each year now because it's a special one. We know that, but it's like the highlight for them. It's like the market for them. How many participants are we looking for in this event on Saturday?
Usually, okay, well, first on Saturday, we have two events going on. Starting at 8:30 a.m., we have our relay torch run. So we do have some of our athletes that participate in that, but for the most part, we have our sponsors. So that's where Anton would come in and give you a better understanding
Sure.
of the scope.
Alright.
But that's where we have our adults generally that participate in the relay. And then after that, the relay will end at Bermuda National Stadium. And then once that ends, basically all of our athletes, which would look about 70-ish, just over about 70.
That includes you, or
Well, you know what? If you see some footage from last year, then you might have thought that I was actually a participant. My daughter is actually in the Special Olympics and she participated last year. So from time to time, I was on the sidelines, like kind of coaching her on,
Right.
getting all excited.
and she was doing better than you.
Yes. And also I kind of am the hostess, so I'm up there getting everybody energized and moving the events along.
Okay.
So we'll have about 70-ish participants. It all depends. We usually send out an invitation to all the schools and all of the facilities that kind of have day programs with our athletes. And they get them on over and basically help us to coordinate the day.
Okay. PC Anton, explain to us more about it. Where's it going to start in the east and the west, and what role is the police service playing in this?
Okay, so the Bermuda Police Service actually is a functioning arm of the torch run. We are basically the main organizers, as we're supposed to be. Over the years, the relationship kind of had to be repatched over the past 2 years. It's hard getting volunteers nowadays for anything, and the law enforcement world has always supported the local Special Olympics community, whichever part of the world they're in. And it's a huge thing. So here in Bermuda, what we're doing now, we're trying to mend that relationship. And over the past 2 years, basically Special Olympics has kind of organized the torch run, and we've provided a lot of manpower, vehicles, and this year we went to even the extent of making a decent cash donation. The Commissioner of Police on Saturday night at our bowl presented a check of $10,000 to Special Olympics Bermuda in support of their cause to get people with intellectual disability out there doing more athletic pursuits and things like that, so they can build confidence and be functional members of society and all those sorts of things. On Saturday, the relay torch run will start in Somerset from the Somerset Cricket Club around 8:30 a.m. as in Somerset, and then from the St. George's Square. And both ends of the island, we're going to have relay runners following the two Bermuda Day routes. So there will be water stops along the way, and a lot of the organizations that will be participating in this relay run will be fire, prisons, police. And there's also tons of soccer clubs and local sporting organizations that have come on board to carry the torch, and athletes will be involved. They will be running different legs and trying to, I guess, show us how fit they are. I don't know if you've ever met a Special Olympics athlete, but some of them are actually fitter than an everyday person.
Yeah.
I met a guy recently that can deadlift 240 pounds, and it was impressive to.
That's a lot of weight.
It's a lot of weight, yeah. And he was shorter than me. I'm not a big guy, but it's impressive.
He did 240 pounds.
240 pounds. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's pretty strong. That's pretty strong, man. Wow. Okay. Well, it sounds like you guys have got it together. I mean, it's something that's worthwhile, and you put a lot of time and effort in. And you said it's been hard to get volunteers, but the manpower that you've got in the DPS and the other volunteers and the fire service and that sort, it's come together. Why is it a role that the police service take too hard on this?
So part of it is because I think I want to say it's in 1980s, a police officer in the U.S. took it upon himself his name is Bob Buford. I'm trying to remember how many years ago. I believe it's 50-year anniversary next year. Correct? Maybe wrong. So, but anyway, he took it upon himself to start raising money for intellectual persons with intellectual disabilities in the U.S. And his first fundraiser, torch run, he raised like $300. And he started to get other police officers involved, etc. And it built into this huge, I guess, network of police departments raising funds, and then eventually became worldwide. To date, they've raised something over the years, and I think it's almost like $600 and something million.
Wow.
Over the many years that they've been in existence. In Bermuda, I believe the information came to us through our regional coordinator, which was at the time probably based out of the Caribbean. So Bermuda, at one point in the 90s, we actually were the regional coordinators for the Caribbean.
Okay.
And eventually, we got involved. We hosted a concert and a few other things in support of the athletes. And that's kind of, how it came to play. Eventually, things died off, but now we're putting them back to life. And we're 2 years in, and hopefully we'll do some more events with more police officers involved. By PC Paint to serve me today, because we need a solid team. It's just a community activist, which is part of our community action team. And we look to do things like maybe a truck pull. There's an event called a polar plunge, where regular people line up, make donations to maybe jump in a pool full of ice.
Right.
Something like it's just see if you can take it.
Right, definitely. Like see PC Painter doing something like that? Going into the pool of ice?
Easy.
Easy.
Walk in the park.
So what role are you going to be playing over this fabulous day on Saturday?
Well, I just came on recently to assist Anton. I'm actually one of the directors at the Bermuda National Athletic Association, so I knew about it. realize how involved the Bermuda Police Service is, and being in the community action team, I actually was able to push in one of our departments to get 2 police teams in. So we have a team definitely coming from east and one coming from west, and a few other people that have joined in. And in being in the schools, we encourage some. I interact with some of the kids that actually have challenges. So it's a little passion of mine. So that's how I hope to advance one, and I'm hoping to at least do it for at least the next 5 or 6 years, as long as I'm in the police service and
Right.
then go from there.
It feels well. It feels good giving something back to the community. Now.
Definitely,
Right.
you know, former athlete myself and having been given the luxury of representing the country
Right.
and actually interacting with some of the challenged athletes who are not as able-bodied as us. Some of them are definitely very, very surprised.
Right. Are you coming from the west or are you coming from the east?
Like I said,
I'm just asking both Saturday. Are you coming from the west or the east? That's
He
what
hasn't
I'm
thought of anything yet, Terry. Don't
I'm
worry.
not running.
No, but facilitating. Are you coming from the west? Or are
I
you coming?
will be coming from the east.
That's right.
Wise man came from the east.
Make your way to the west. Not a problem.
I'm going to go into National Stadium.
You get an escort and take me straight to the west. Don't go anywhere. We've got Alicia Zool on the phone with us, who was very instrumental in this program as well. Good afternoon, Alicia. How are you? Oh, I'm good. I'm good. What sort of anticipation can we expect on Saturday from the locals' perspectives as they watch this great event take place from the east and west on Saturday?
I am hoping there is going to be a good response from the public and the community. And like Antoine has said, letters have been sent to the sporting community to have them involved and the business community. It's not too late for anyone to sign up. I believe it's the support that these athletes really need. This could happen to any one of us. We could go sleep tonight and wake up tomorrow as a different person or something wrong. But we really need the support of the community, and especially for the athletes, for them to have the community behind them and see that they do care about them.
For sure. And how long you been involved in this, Alicia?
I've been working in primary education for 24 years, working with persons with intellectual disabilities, but I've been doing Special Olympics since 2005.
And what do you get out of this? I mean, you've been doing it now since 2005. This makes it 12 years. You must feel the enjoyment and excitement of it.
I have a lot of passion for it, a lot of passion, and to have them to see when we travel to see other people like themselves and how they interact with one another and how they support one another. And it's something very touching when you see them participate and how hard they try. Like our motto says, let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave enough to attempt. So,
For sure. Now, I was going to ask you, what's it been like on the side of the athletes? How do they prepare for this? I mean, this is something to look forward to each year, correct?
yes, yes. Well, a lot of them in March or April, we have a CBA invitational game, like on Sports Day. We get all the schools together, and we have clients outside of the school system that also exercise and participate. But after this year, we will be training to get ready for the 2019 games that will be in Dubai.
Whoa, Dubai. Mercy.
Hoping to take a contingent of 30 athletes. Athletes who are unable to attend, we were just invited on Saturday night to go to Ontario to participate. And then that's in 2020, they have no big games there. And then I believe next year is the USA Games is either in Chicago or New Jersey. But once we finish that, we will be traveling either every year or every other year to the regionals. I am trying to see if we can meet. I have an awesome committee. That same committee I have last year, we have this year. It's an awesome committee because we work as a team. And I would not be able to do it without it.
I hear.
And you can see that they are passionate about what they are doing also. But hopefully, after Dubai or before Dubai, we will be traveling to the regional. So some athletes who will not have the opportunity to go to Dubai will have the opportunity to travel otherwise because it's exposure for them outside of just little dots.
That was going to be the next question. What happens? Well, first of all, it seems as though the next 3 years are mapped out: 2018, 19, and 20. But what happens after this event on Saturday from a local perspective? Is there any other huge events on the local side or on the international?
Then after on Saturday, we will be training for 2019. We have to start preparing now. And then hopefully we will be able to take a group in 2018 to be able to practice for regional in one of the overseas states. I had an email last week from Gary, the director from Calgary, Renominated, to ask if we were coming back again. So we have the door is open for us all over North America to go and travel and participate.
Well, this my question is for Anton. Anton, you and I want to say Mr. Howard.
Yes,
Yeah,
Superintendent Howard.
recently attended a function overseas that dealt with um, community-based policing and Special Olympics. Tell us a bit about what you guys discovered during that time over there that would have given you even more passion about driving this forward with the folks from the Special Olympics.
Okay, so yeah, Superintendent Howard is the director of the Bermuda Police Law Enforcement Forefront Source Committee that we're starting to form. And I went to Nashville, Tennessee, and we were accompanied, but we joined another maybe 1,500 police officers from all around, not just the U.S., but the world. We sat next to people from Taiwan, in addition to those that from the Caribbean as well. Jamaica had a very huge contingent. Now, the purpose of this conference was to ensure that everyone is kind of on the same page as to what we're trying to achieve here. And to be honest, I didn't know what to expect. And I've kind of just been a volunteer here in Bermuda over the past, I guess, year and a half, 2 years that we've been doing this. But when I showed up to the conference and went to registration, I shook a woman's hand. And it may sound like a very simple interaction, but had a conversation. She gave me a free pencil and directed me to the registration table. And we had a short conversation. And then I went to table registered and came back. And then when I went to sit down in the main hall, they said they had a guest speaker and all that sort of thing. And it was the same woman at the front of the room. Didn't think nothing of it. She got up and she spoke very well. And when she started off, she announced herself as a person with intellectual disability. And she said Special Olympics brought her to the place she's at where she feels normal. And I actually didn't think she was someone that had an intellectual disability. So from that point on, Mr. Howard even tell you, we knew we were coming back to Bermuda to try and do what we can to support Ms. Lou and her team, because we felt, the objective of the law enforcement torch run and how we should be helping Special Olympics. So that was the main, I guess, a spirit of the conference. And I think that they had met their objective in the first 10 minutes. In addition to the networking and seeing what everyone's doing, so we learned about different fundraisers that we could possibly do here. And how we actually should be taking some of the weight off of Special Olympics Bermuda and doing more. And I'll be honest, Ms. Zulu and her team, they are working hard. And the Bermuda Police Service, with Terry and Painter by my side, and Mr. Howard, and many others, showing interest to try and ease that blow so they can focus more on the athletes and let us sort of raise the funds for them.
And you said this happens around the world in several police departments. Do you guys, or is there any kind of a challenge amongst yourselves to see who can kind of raise the most funds? I know you guys are very competitive amongst yourselves.
Right. So there is. So we did notice at the conference they were handing out awards to persons who had raised certain amounts of money per capita. Now, like some people were earning as much as $2 million in a year, which is not realistic. Well, depending on how you work it, we might be able to pull something like that off, which would be amazing, because it means it's you and her athletes to get pretty much premium Olympic support if we can help and get a budget like that. But yeah, so Jamaica received an award for, I think, most improved. So from where they were last year in fundraising till this year, they had a substantial increase. Actually, Stephanie Lindsay, who's the superintendent of the Jamaican police force, she is our regional coordinator, and she's very keen on bringing the other islands up to speed. She's aware that Bermuda is very, I guess, capable because we've been in a pretty stable state in supporting Special Olympics in the past. So we're to the table with her and helping her with some of the other smaller countries that have actually been devastated recently by the hurricanes to make sure that they still keep this flowing because the special needs or the intellectual disability community makes up 3% of any population. And that's, I guess, a streamlined fact. When you talk about 3% of Bermuda's population, it's not 70 athletes.
Right.
And if we can have 3% participating in sport, and we know what sport does for young people. That's why we have it in schools. That's why we have it in communities, or encourage people to use it as a way to express themselves or build, relationships and stuff like that. So it's important for these guys too, because you never see them on these sports fields.
Right.
So what options do they have other than this? So it's very important to the community police service, and I'm sure my colleague would agree with me.
Yeah. Mizzou, before we get to Terry Lynn, having the police service come on board and lend this support must be a real inspirational thing for you guys, because now you can really focus on the athletes themselves.
Yes, it is. It is great to have them on board. So after this year, the challenge is up to them to schedule the torch run for next year. And the executive committee of Special Olympics will be focusing on other things, but we will still be assisting them. Not only the Bermuda Police Service, we have put out a challenge to the Bermuda Regiment. I did that on Saturday night, and I want to say thank you to the Bermuda Police Service again on behalf of Special Olympics for making a good donation to us on Saturday night at the ball. So I put out a challenge to the Bermuda Regiment, put out a challenge to the Department of Corrections and Bermuda Fire Services. And the reason why, like I was saying to Antoine, the reason why we are aiming for them, because they always had that inter-service competition or something going on. So we would still like for them to continue on. And any other business that would like to join in our torch relay run, it's not too late.
Actually, Earl, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that although it says law enforcement torch run or Special Olympics torch run, the Bermuda Police and Special Olympics aren't the main, the only main, bodies. The Department of Corrections, because that's where Ms. Sumner came from, they have been a very strong presence. They were there before I came. Last year, Jay Donowa, I'd say he had even more of a lead role than I did in the fire service. He's a cousin of mine, but I got to see him in a different light, and he actually was a solid push for last year and making sure that firemen participated in the run. And he himself ran, and he looked proud to carry the torch. I think he ran a full Bermuda Day half marathon last year. It probably was his warm up for his meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ran the whole time. We had Santino lead to Georgia Square, and he walked as far as number 1 gate. And coming out of Somerset, we had a few athletes that did the entire race. But this year, we're just going to have them run the first 3 miles. Then everyone will meet at Blue Water and come into Hamilton. And during Hamilton, stop at City Hall, have pictures with the athletes from City Hall. Then the athletes will meet the runners at National Stadium. And they will run in with the runners. The athletes will run with the runners, run the track to light the final torch. And then we'll have our track. And I think Bermudians need to come out and see what they're capable of. Just like you go out to everything else, they're a part of our community. And it's time that we put interest in them and stop thinking that they do not exist. Corrections, Bermuda Fire Services, Bermuda Regiment, Marine and Ports, Customs, and the private business sector, the international company associations. Let's come out and support these athletes. And you don't know how this will make them feel.
Well stated. Before we wrap up, just want to ask a couple more questions. Ms. Sumner, anything you want to say before we wrap up? Anything you'd like to add?
I just want to say that last year was our first one. And so it was my first time having an opportunity to witness this. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful sight to watch the guys take turns holding the torches. They're heavy. So if you can imagine, running miles in sweat, holding, and they were beautiful. It was beautiful. We have sites, water stops For the most part, we have gotten permission to have water stops on certain people's properties. Last year we had a slight little oversight, so if we do again, we're just asking the public to embrace us, love us, and we're sorry. But we're doing this for a greater cause.
That's true.
So for the donations of water. Yes, they done an excellent job last year, and I guess they'll do the same thing this year. We have volunteers that will be at the stops. We're asking, I guess we'll have the police like we did last year to escort us at a
Yeah,
certain
there will
point.
be a police escort for each torch,
Yes,
ensuring the safety of the runners, because the torch is on fire
yeah,
while they're running. And in addition to just minimize the, I guess, restrictions to the movement of the normal traffic,
traffic, yeah.
and we don't want people to feel as if, we're causing any sort of hold up and whatnot, so we allow the traffic to flow smoothly.
Join
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Motorcade.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Look at this. Let's look at this as our new 24th of May thing.
There you go.
Get involved. If you're in your car and you're driving by, honk for us. Clap for us. It's hot. It's a lot of work, and they deserve it.
And also any runners that don't have anyone to pick them up as they're running to be dropped off at East Portway. We will have cars following them. We will have vans following them. So we will all be out there. The executives will be out there. Family and friends will be out there. Families could even put teams in.
Yeah.
We just want the community to be involved like they're involved in everything else on this island and like I said, make these athletes feel like someone and we of this community of Bermuda do care. And that's what a challenge out to the new government.
Hello.
Not one, but I'll be out there to support. So there we go also. But the rest of the communities need to come out and support. Football clubs, come on out, bring a team.
All right.
With a hug. And then you see them participate in these sports. Even come to National Stadium, 2-hour track meet. That's from 12 on 2-5. Come and support that. Just like you come to the BFA football game.
All right. For a person who said they want to do an interview, you ain't shy today. That's for sure. I have no problems with that. I know you're on the roll. You're pretty good, girl.
It's passion.
It's passion.
That's what it is. It's coming from my heart, and I am very, very passionate about this.
All right. Yes, you are. PC Payton, any final comment?
No, I just hope to see as much of the public as we can get. Even if you don't want to participate, come out and support. Because I'm sure we all have persons in our families that are of special needs. They may not be close, but somewhere in the distance, we all have them. So come out and support and give them all the support you want to give, and a little extra, and a little hug goes a long way.
That's true. Okay. One more statement from me and PC. I just put in the summer.
Okay, so if you want to participate in the torch run, you can register on Thursday, October 12th and Friday, October 13th at Cedar Bridge Gymnasium from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Also, if you miss this deadline and you're on your morning run and you see us and you feel like joining in, join in. We'll have water stops. If you see a water stop and you want to start, then the rest of us get to you, then feel free to join in. If you miss registration, don't feel like you can't participate. Yeah, no age restrictions, no restrictions, just come and join in.
Me and you, yeah?
And you.
And Earl.
I'm already helping out.
There you go. I will be supporting.
Okay. All
Let's see
right.
if the St. George's or the Somerset Torch reaches the stadium first.
Don't worry about that.
All right. I know there's a couple.
Ms.
Thank you very much for joining us today on Inside Sports Talk Radio. I want to thank our guests for joining us in the studio. It was worthy of information that has to be spread out to Bermuda for a worthy cause that's happening on this Saturday. Again, it gets on at 8:30 from both ends, in the east and the west. And Somerset has a couple. They're the best. We're going to take a commercial break. I'll be back after this.
Talk Radio
Thank you,
has been
guys.
presented to you by Colonial Group International.
You didn't gotta come back for that.
I got it. You didn't catch on. You didn't catch on.
Thomas is gonna come because that the best, as your best comeback.
What time
All
is
right.
it?
Thank you.
Nice seeing you. Please meet you, man. Thanks,
Bye,
son.
baby.
See you later, Banker. Behave
Yes,
yourself.
sir. I will. All right.
Peace, sister. Nice seeing you.
Yes.
Cool. Hey, JC, y'all.
Saturdays 8:30 till 5 and Sundays 10 till 5. For
Yeah,
more
she's
details,
home
visit
at 2:15.
GameTime.pm or call 296-3222. Game Time. We play, we pay. Game Time is a socially responsible business establishment.
Last
You're
night.
looking for extra savings and free benefits
With car insurance,
and home insurance,
Colonial has just the cover you need.
there's a free $250 gift voucher for new home insurance customers too, and 10% car insurance discount if you have home insurance.
With a claim service that's quick and friendly.
We call it cover without added costs.
Call for a quote on 296-3700 or visit ctigroup.com.
Colonial, where people come first.
We're celebrating the popularity of a truly healthful snack featuring Kind Snack Bars. Introduced in 2004 by independent Daniel Levesque, made from all natural ingredients.
You got the
Kind
email
Snack
sent
Bars are
over
also
to you.
gluten and trans fat free and low in sodium. Now we get to the good bit, the flavor. This month we're featuring almond butter, dark chocolate and maple cinnamon protein bars, and dark chocolate caramel almond, peanut butter dark chocolate cherry, and cranberry almond honey nut mini bars. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Live your travel dreams. This is
Emma.
Pat Trot from Worldview Travel. Join me for our weekly travel talk, Tuesday mornings at 8:15 on Power 95.
Now, back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. Inside Sports Talk Radio on Power 95 FM with host Ian Rollins and co-host Earl Payson.
And welcome back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. As we mentioned earlier, we're going to break the special course, the Special Olympics happening this coming Saturday. Gets underway 8:30. It's like the Mecca of Olympics for them. And I've seen the event before. I participated in assisting in things that sort, covering stories in the 90s. And the smiles and jubilation of athletes participating for this Special Olympics is worth every penny. It's amazing how they get excited. And just to hear PC Anton saying that a gentleman deadlifts 240 pounds and he's smaller than him. That's a strong soccer mate. That's quite strong. Yeah. That's a lot of weight.
Then you met
Yeah.
grinding.
You did? Let's put it this way, right? Yeah, I could do 240, but this thing too much.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight.
You're doing 240 regular?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll bring you down to the gym. You can do 240 deadlifts.
Hmm?
You can do 240. What's wrong, man?
Nothing.
You can handle it.
What time are you getting? Around midday?
Well, I'll excuse you this Saturday because the event's happening, but the following Saturday we could make it happen.
Sports couple.
Well, we go early.
Sports happening. What'd you call early?
We go at midnight if you want.
Way too late.
No, man. Because I want you to be fresh for the next day.
Oh. You're trying to kill a brother.
No, I'm trying to get a brother healthy. No, you can't handle it,
But it should be. I mean, come Saturday for the participants and for those folks who just want to give someone another smile on their face. It should be a good morning for the athletes and the organizations that come together to help put this on, because of the mere fact that it's going to bring joy to people who just want to be a part of our community, and it's a helping and a step in the right direction for organizers, as well as the Bermuda Police Service, as well as the Fire Service, and all those other organizations that are coming out to help. Listening to Azul, obviously she's speaking with a lot of passion and desire, and just wanting to see youngsters and the like really reach their full potential, and using sport as a tool for that. Why not? I mean, we use sports for so many other things, and I just think it's a step in the right direction to give these folks an opportunity to have what they consider their Olympics. Now, we always watch the torch run at the end of the Olympics. We saw the Queen's baton come to Bermuda for the Commonwealth Games We don't get a chance to get the torch for the Olympic Games to come through Bermuda, but they're going to have that moment for themselves to bring it all together and come together at the National Sports Center for a sports day of sorts. There'll probably be a lot of tired people once they get there, but I think the opportunity to bring all that together will get them through the rest of the day for their sports day, which will be from 2 to 5. So
I recall, I think it was Alicia mentioned during the interview that a person can run no more than 3 miles.
Yeah,
right. So that's good. It takes the strain off them and they can remain fresh for the day. So that helps out well. But from a volunteer perspective, it sounds like they thought Josh crossed the T's and everyone on board for that. Because it is hard to get volunteers, but for this here, it's worth every minute.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll
every minute. And I think you said the best. We support all our sports. Alicia, Zoo was saying it, that we support all our sports, football, cricket, you name it. But this year, we need to come out and support this too.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
I'll be doing my part.
Well, I'm getting great photos, doing interviews as always, great stories to tell. Of course, we'll be tuning in and watching that, and I'll be down there from the rest supporting them as they go by.
I think I'm going to start in the rest because, as WPP Paint say, the only good thing out of Somerset is the road to St. George. So I'll use that road to get.
And you know what? She's right. Yeah. She's right. You can come out the west, go straight down to the east with the cup, like we did this year, and take it right back to the west, like we did this year.
What cup are you talking about?
The Cup Cup.
Oh,
that's what you're talking about. All right. That's what she's referring to as well.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I guess so.
No, guessing. That's what probably you're going to use always keep guessing.
I'm trying to guess to see who's going to score your first goal for the year.
Hey, you're right about that. I might be too on, right? Jesus, man. And he's played 5 games, right?
Yeah.
That's Cup and League games?
Cup and League.
That must be a BFA racket, right?
I don't think so, but it's close to. I mean, you have to find out, but for a team like Somerset Trojans,
the history.
I mean, they've been down before, but to not score is...
It's just unheard of.
Yeah.
He usually loses like 3-1.
Yeah, at least score a goal.
Score a goal, right? He scored a goal.
What
is the problem?
I think it's now time to put the defenders up front and the strikers down the back.
Well, I'm going to take it a step further. Has the time come to change the coaching staff?
I don't think so. I mean...
the philosophy is not working if you ain't scored a goal, right?
Well, they've come close. I mean...
You can hit the woodwork, but does it go in?
No.
So it don't count, right?
So if you change the coach...
I'm just throwing that out
there. Does it change the team?
And yes, it has happened in the past in various sports, in various events. A coach can make a change, and it can happen.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing it out there. You played 5 games. You conceded numerous goals. You haven't scored.
Correct.
Something, right? Are the players just going through the motions? Are the
Actually,
players playing for
the first 2 games they lost 4-0. They haven't lost that big since, but they've lost.
But the bottom line is they haven't scored.
Right. Well, yeah. That's a proven fact. They haven't scored.
That's a proven fact. So, do you change the formation? Yes, you tried that. You tried it at halftime. You tried it during the game. You've done this. You've done 4-4-2, 4-2-1, whatever you want to call it, 4-5-1. You've done it all, but you haven't scored. Right? Yeah, done 4-4-2. Put 4 up the back. Put 2 down the back and put 4 in the midfield and 4 up front. You still haven't scored. Right? So, I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. As the time comes to make a change.
So are you lining yourself up to...
No, I don't have no credentials on coaching at all.
That could be the problem. The coach might have too many credentials.
Well, something's got to give. Okay?
Well, one thing is not due to a lack of trying for the coach. I know that for sure.
No,
he's putting in a lot of time and effort. I just think the team itself is down on its luck.
Right. Well, and you're right, but I'm thinking from a sports perspective, right? Both of us in sports. It's like the San Francisco 49ers.
Professional.
The New York Giants.
Professional.
The Somerset Trojans. What they all have in common?
Amateurs.
What they have all in common?
All of them were red and blue, I think.
Yeah. And what else?
They're not winning.
Yeah, and the rackets are the same. 0-5.
That's right. That's
All
right.
three. Right?
Well, I mean, okay. Let's put it like this.
Actually, Giants is 0-6 since the playoffs last year. Yes.
But for the Giants, and I'm only speaking because I ended up watching a bit of that yesterday. They had probably the worst sporting day in any professional team playing a game that they could possibly hit. When you lose 4-3 wide receivers,
Yeah.
all in the same game, 2 with broken legs.
That's tough. That's
That's
unheard of.
Yeah, and that's basically 2 of them definitely done for the season.
Oh yeah. Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the other one was.
I can't remember the name. But when you know things are not well, or your luck is bad, if you lose 2 guys, they lost. They were down to 1 wide receiver at the end of the game. And you know how many backups they got on the sideline?
No, they're all injured.
But that's the point I'm making. Like you're the 3rd or 4th guy.
3rd or 4th string.
Yeah, wide receiver. You're sitting at the end of the bench, and they tell you get your helmet. For what, coach? Because you don't get that call any other time.
Yeah, you didn't get it in practice.
Yeah.
And then when you go there, what happens? You get injured. So they're going to call some reinforcement.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of tryouts this week. Probably already happening this morning. Wide receivers running routes, looking at books and so forth. But they have practice squads. So obviously those guys on the practice squads will have the opportunity to make a name for themselves. And then the practice squads will have to be, so there's going to be guys that didn't get a professional contract in that position, and if they haven't solidified a job, then here's an opportunity.
Yeah. It was funny when I played my 1 year of American football in prep school. My mom used to tell everybody, he is playing. What position? She said wide receiver. I was playing running back. I said the other day, I'm at my auntie's house and my cousin's going to prep school.
Right.
He's playing. Mom says, he'll play. He played wide receiver.
Oh boy.
It's like, no, ma. Play running back.
Yeah. I've never played it in full contact and all that. We've always messed around playing touch and all that.
Right.
But I'm trying to figure out, or you've played it. So what would you consider would be the most dangerous position? Would it be the running back or would it be the wide receiver?
That's a good question, actually.
And when I say dangerous, I mean in the sense that you don't see contact coming. As a running back, you do in a sense, but you don't see guys coming from your side. And as a wide receiver, you're always focused on the ball in the air, so you don't actually see anything unless
it just depends what play is in the offense.
Right.
That's about mine, because every position to me is dangerous.
Right.
That's why as I got into the game, I started concentrating more as a defensive player. I'd rather play safety.
Right. You want to be the one giving the licks instead of okay.
Receiving the lick, right?
Oh, okay.
I'd rather give it. And so, the school I went to was called Friday Academy, small school, but they had me playing more of an outside linebacker position in defense because of the speed. So that was cool. So give out the licks. Play for safety and drop back to get me play a nickel defense.
Right.
But if I grew up, I'd play defense. I wouldn't play offense because you get blindsided from a quarterback's position to a tight end to a running back, wide receiver, even a guard. The guard is pulling, right? I'm the guard. I'm pulling here to my right.
Right.
The guy come from behind me and go through me.
Right.
To get to the running back.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a vicious contact sport.
Well,
and it's hard.
I happened to be watching college football on Saturday as well and saw a young man get ejected from a match. There was an interception.
Right.
On the run back. The defending team, which was now the attacking team.
Right.
The guy had run cross a player, and there was another player running from behind to make a tackle, but he was at least 3 yards behind, and got blindsided. And it was a hit that even the referees went, ooh.
Yeah.
And
unnecessary.
Yeah.
And that's the part I don't like about the sport, where people can blindside you for no reason. And basically end your career.
Yeah.
And it's happened to some athletes,
Right.
unfortunately, right? It's happened to some athletes. Speaking of, since we're on North American sport, did you see the baseball playoffs?
Yeah, I've been in and out of those.
Yeah.
Boston finally came along.
I'm gonna be honest. I split screen my screens on one of the TVs at home, so I'm watching 4 games at once, right?
Right.
So I'm like, Boston's down 3-0. This is the first inning.
Yeah.
No, second inning. I think it's the second.
Yeah,
We have 1-0
yeah.
and 2-0 in the second one. So I'm like, Houston's got their number. So I cut the split screen down to 2.
Right.
So I watch football and some other sport. Let me get back and check. Oh, they're up 6-3.
Okay.
Yeah, like 10-3 final. Oh, well done Boston.
They avoided the whitewash.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be whitewash.
Yeah.
I did. I thought it was gonna be a whitewash. Same with the Yankees. They pulled it off last night.
Yeah.
The guy hit a massive home run, and the rookie that's 6'7" or 6'8", he stole a home run.
Right.
He just jumped up and caught the ball. But they're saying it wasn't like a great catch. It was a great catch because he's tall.
Right. Right.
So he just his glove up. Right?
Yeah.
It's just the average center field is 6'2".
Right.
He just happens to be 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah.
So
with
that's
leaping
all.
ability, so that actually puts him a good 3 feet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So and then the Chapman, the relief pitcher, guy was throwing heat at 102, 104 miles an hour.
It's one of those things where this might be our last game.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, I know the Yankees are going through some turmoil. One of their players retweeted a fan's tweet.
But that was Chapman.
About Joe Girardi.
He apologized.
Yeah. So I mean, social media and sports, boy, it's getting to a point where some guys should just leave the phone, just like 45, leave your phone alone. Leave your phone alone.
It's unnecessary. Just leave it. Separate it from the sports. Well, we've been waiting on Kim McKellen, which was to either call us in and or stop by the station for an interview. And we reached out to her, but we hadn't heard from her. So hope all is well on her side.
She got bounced around a little bit yesterday.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. Got bounced around a little bit. She'll be alright.
Okay.
Just off a Spanish point. That's really racing moves yesterday.
Right. It's a Spanish point.
Yeah.
How many votes?
I think overall, I want to say 12 started.
Okay.
Probably one of the strongest turnouts for the year, other than around the island. So it was interesting.
Yeah. So she's okay. She got bounced around.
Oh, yeah. All of them got bounced around. It was a bit of a chop throughout the course. And obviously, when you're going around a course, it's wake from other boats. You've got that cross breeze from the Great Sound is one of those things where wind starts to swirl around.
Right.
So tide was going, I believe, so it made it a little more challenging as well. But all in all, I think it was a good day for that.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Let's take a commercial break and we'll be back after this.
Sports Talk Radio has been presented to you by Colonial Group International, Global Atlantic Windows Group of Companies, and Energize Wellness Solutions. We'll return after the break.
Calling all players. What time is it? It's game time. Fun and dependable sports betting on NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, golf, horses, English Premier League, and more. Weekly promotions, instant win games. Be a lucky loser with our weekly draw. Become a game time player. Call into one of our 3 locations in Somerset, Town, and Georgia. For more details, visit gametime.pm or call 296-3222. Game time. You play, we pay. Game time is a socially responsible gaming establishment.
We're celebrating the popularity of truly healthful snack. Snack Bar. Introduced in 2004 by independent Daniel Levitt. Made from all natural ingredients. Non-snack bars are also gluten and plant-free and low in sodium. Now we get to the big day, the flavor. This month will feature almond butter, dark chocolate and maple cinnamon protein bars, and dark chocolate caramel almond, peanut butter dark chocolate cherry, and cranberry almond honey nut mini bars. Bingo! Wine ready for a salad. Our lives are busy. More complicated. So we the health plan easy to use, like Premier Health.
Registered local providers who cover and 5 claims online.
Enrollment is online too.
70% of claims are made in Congress.
With Colonial, it can be less complicated.
Let's think of it.
And we're providing so many great business.
I just want to know you.
AccuWeather, the world's weather leader. Forecasters and meteorologists who thrive on the new technology that can help you chart your day. From St. George's to Somerset, sunshine to Severe
15 seconds.
With the radar, AccuWeather helps you stay on top of your day. Proudly brought to you by BF&M. AccuWeather only on ZBM TV9, where community comes first. This AccuWeather report is brought to you by the President Sensor.
Now, back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. Inside Sports Talk Radio on Power 95 FM with host Ian Rollins and co-host Earl Basin.
And welcome back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. As we mentioned just for the break, Kim Pellas is in the studio joining us to give us an update on the final race of the season for the 2017 Real Public Association. But we have not heard from football as well. So it's a conversation about bouncing around with other competitors yesterday, but we're sure everything's okay regarding that match. Yeah. Joining us in about another 10 minutes will be April Charlie Shield, who will talk about health, fitness, and interesting to share what her thoughts on nutrition and other aspects that she's going to look at today, and that will be part of her presentation today. Going forward, I'll be still on World Cup. It was just the other day, talking about World Cup football, so just the other day, it was in Brazil, 2014.
Yeah.
Now we are 6 and 8, 9 months away. It's going to be in Russia.
Yeah. Time flies. Time really does fly. If you look at it, yeah, Brazil 2016, 2014, Russia 2018. See how many teams have changed. Those that have qualified and those that failed to qualify. Scotland, I believe, are out.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for them. Northern Ireland are on the verge. Remember I would say about 10 to 12 years ago, there was some talk about instead of having an England team, have a Britain team. But that was thrown away right away because that rivalry amongst themselves is a huge one.
Yeah, and I can't see FIFA accepting that because the money.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. They're able to do it at other games, other sporting events. They have a Great Britain team as opposed to England, Scotland, and the like. But overall, I think it's going to be very interesting to see the dominating continents, because as we all know, there are several continents that make up the World Cup.
Yeah.
And we want to see who will be the finalists, because it's bragging rights. Even if my continent didn't make it, or my country didn't make it, I want my continent to do well. So we're always over this side pulling for CONCACAF teams.
Correct.
I know a lot of people don't look at it like that, but if your region's doing well, then eventually your country will do well. So you have to look to support your region in order to get your country to get some benefits from it.
Right. So again, USA take on Trinidad tomorrow, right? So they win, they obviously advance to the World Cup. And then the draw for World Cup, I believe, is December 16th,
right?
For Russia. And we'll be interested who's going to be in Group A, B, C, D. And the format will remain the same as it was in 2014. But as you know, in 2022 is in Qatar.
Right.
So the format is supposed to change because they want to add more teams, correct? More teams, and then the other aspect that's going to be very interesting for you, Smell, which will go by mighty fast, is that the World Cup is usually played in June and July, will be played either October or November. So that's going to affect the European...
All of Europe
regarding football, league schedules, right? League games. It's not just going to be the Premier League, but you got to think of Bundesliga.
It's all of Europe.
All of
Spain, Italy, all of it will be affected.
French.
It's going to be... I'll tell you what, there'll be a lot of money lost in domestic football that year for all of those countries. Because what's going to end up happening is if they postpone their season for a month, because the World Cup's a month, you still have to give those players some time
to recover.
Yeah, which you're looking at 6 to 8 weeks. What do? You can't cancel your whole season, so now you're going to have what they call replacement players.
So you're saying like
A team.
say if it's in November,
Mhm.
the whole month of November,
Mhm.
then you're taking off December.
Well, you're going to have to, because remember now, December,
because-
around Christmas time, you have teams are playing 3 games in 7 days?
Yeah, like
You know, or 4 games in 10 days. When you throw in New Year's Day or Boxing Day, Christmas Day, all that has to be taken into account. And let's look at the top 6 English teams. You have guys that can't even make the team that are starting for the national team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can't even say, well, gosh, okay, if my starting 11's going, I can use Ian, who's a reserve player. Well, I can't.
Which sounds about right.
Yeah, but I can't use Ian because now Ian's has to go and play for so-and-so.
Yeah.
So some teams will lose an entire squad.
Wow. That's going to be...
So what do you do?
Money lost.
Yeah, money lost, because you're going to have to pay other people to come in, and you're going to hope that you're still in a good position when these players return.
Yeah, so they can keep up, carry the slack.
It wasn't a well thought out plan for FIFA, because they've really affected with this decision. It has affected.
It may be a well thought out plan for FIFA.
Well, financially, yeah,
but it's not well thought out for the rest of the world.
Yeah. Because you're interrupted, and then you throw that. Come February, you lose the African players. Because of African Nations Cup.
And that's every year.
Yeah. So for if the World Cup starts in October and finishes end of November, you're gonna basically some teams will lose a player for the entire season.
And that comes down to dollars and cents again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Huh. So it's a lot of negotiating going on. I see guys saying, you know what? I've already played the World Cup. You better let my under 21 to somebody else. Because then these guys are getting paid top dollar, and the country can request the player. But if the player refuses, what can you do? You can't. I mean, they could turn around and ask FIFA to suspend the player, but then the player could come around and say, look, I have a choice if I want to represent my country or I want to go to my everyday job, and I'm going to go to my everyday job.
Oh, you're right.
There'll be a lot of legal stuff going on from now until then.
Well, just to give you an update on still in sports and the North American side of the American League Divisional Playoff Series between Houston and Boston. The game is on, and it's the top of the second. The score is 1-1. So that'll be interesting. Joining us in the studio now over the next minute or so will be April Child. She's been in the studio, so we're going to take a commercial break, and of course, her intro to her health and fitness segment, hosted by Energize Wellness Solutions. She will be here to share some of her good thoughts, and of course, tell us what's going to tap at her gym, because I ran past her gym this morning. Nice.
Lights on.
So I don't know. Maybe she'll
What time?
What time? This was about 10 to 7.
Oh, well, maybe that was Marie.
I said no lights were on.
Oh, no lights.
No
Oh,
lights.
okay.
No lights.
Yes, we open at 8.
Oh, okay.
Yes. If you would have gone there a bit earlier, you may have found my partner Marie.
Oh, okay. Very early.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. But 8 o'clock is the open time, so keep that in mind when I go past on Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a commercial break. I'll be back after this.
Well, we used to open at 6:30. Before that, we used to open at 5:30, but nobody was coming in early.
Okay.
Well, people went and they asked, what time do you open? And we'd say, oh, that's great, I can train in the morning. And then we moved to 6:30. Oh, yeah, well, that's great. And that way we got rid of our morning person because we were basically paying her to train.
Yeah, well, she had started to train, but
But people didn't show up. That's
but no
all.
one showed up. So we were, why are we going to pay somebody to work up?
I'm sure she understood that too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I said 8 o'clock. That's the time I need to.
You're coming out in the west.
No, I know Smith's children go to school west. The ex-hubby is in west, so I use his address or the matrimonial home address. Yes.
I caught myself out.
Yeah, well, he had them this weekend. He's had them since Thursday, so save gas.
Oh, sure you did. She had a lot of
And I
guys.
used to do first thing in the morning and then go pick them up. So now they're about to get on the bus.
Sure.
Yeah. So we're looking at this house in Paget, and I really like West Delphi, Mary, and Sand. So we may actually.
We're good.
Am I?
That small thing all the way in the back, that state, by where the old trimming houses to the Gilbert Institute.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The property is all the way in the back, and the side of the property is right there.
Inside Sports Talk Radio. Inside Sports
But
Talk
that's how
Radio.
much I like the school.
With host Ian Rollins and co-host Earl Baisler. This segment of Inside Sports Talk Radio, Health and Wellness, is presented by Energize Wellness Solutions.
And welcome back. It's that time. It's 2:45 on time. April Charles and Sue. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
All is well.
Yes, all is well.
For 48 hours.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, relaxing.
Yeah. No chips.
No.
Right.
I did have to think about it.
Of course. No alcohol?
No alcohol, but I did treat myself to, I really wanted the big package of Twix where it has those 4 things, but they were out.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I had
yeah.
Twix bars. So I had, Nelson got me the big thing of Snickers. It was 2 things, and I ate it, and I enjoyed it.
And you had more?
Nope, that was it. That.
No ice cream?
Actually, yes, I had a little bit of ice cream. Mm-hmm.
No sherbet?
No, I don't even buy sherbet.
You believe it?
Yeah, I used to. What was that company that made the sherbet? It was really good, but they stopped, haven't they? Simmons? Yeah. I used to like that. Pineapple.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And I still like my mayonnaise, although I barely use it. Just on habit.
Okay. What's on tap today?
Well, I'm going to give you 9 more mindful eating strategies. Yeah, so these are the last 9. Because I didn't want to give you too much at once, because then you can't retain anything I say, right? So I just give you a bit at a time. So the first one is minimize distractions while eating. So it suggests that you only eat in the kitchen or in the dining room, and use plates or bowls when you're snacking, because it's when you eat while you're watching TV, you actually eat 25% more. And when you eat using bigger containers or the original container, you eat more. So that's why I don't get the big Lay's potato chips. I get the individual portion, because then I'll just eat that. Because remember, I tell you, if I get the whole thing, I'll just keep, even though I put it in a container or on a napkin, which that's supposed to help you to cut down so that you're not eating as much, but it's in the house. So I keep getting it.
Until it gives in the bag gives in the crash.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, after it's all been eaten. So, because a lot of people, they eat while they watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
I at night, I do that. But I'm such a slow eater, and I put it on a small plate anyway. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. But most people, and when you go to the movies and you're eating your popcorn, you're just eating. Sometimes you don't even taste it. You're just going. And so that's why they suggest that you don't eat in front of the TV. But, a lot of us do. So just try to watch it and know that if you do, you will probably eat more.
So you said eat without distraction.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting at the table and you're having a conversation, isn't that a form of a distraction as well?
But you don't necessarily eat more. That can be a distraction. But usually if people are talking, then
it slows down them eating as well.
Yeah,
because
it slows
yeah,
their eating
yeah.
down, but they're not necessarily eating more.
Mhm.
But that TV, because you're not really thinking about the food.
No.
You're just putting it in.
Right.
You know, unless you eat like me, you're just really.
I don't think anyone eats like you.
Well, you know, it's something because Javon Deal, he's one of the bodybuilders. So he had posted this picture of this really yummy thing that he had eaten, and it was like on a scone or something, and it had egg, and it had bacon, and it had something, and so that was his cheat. And I was like, oh wow, that really does look good. And then he says, yeah, you know, I downed that in about 10 minutes, and then I went to sleep. And I was like, well, if I had eaten that, it would have taken me a good 45 minutes to an hour. And then it was a whole new conversation. It was like, oh my gosh, you're one of those slow eaters, and that irritates me. And then this other guy is talking about how he likes to, he can relate because he likes to savor each bite. And I was like, yes, because I like the smell of it.
So then when you're out to dinner with your friends and family and all that stuff,
right.
Reservations are for 7 o'clock. In her case, you tell her to go at 5 o'clock.
She says that.
What I do is I ask them to bring my food first. Because especially with coworkers, when we used to do that, I would say, you know, could you please prepare mine first? Don't wait until everybody's is done. Just bring me mine first and let me get started. Because by the time you bring theirs and they start, we'll all finish around the same time. So that's how I got around that. So anyway,
I'll let you off the hook.
Yes. Another one is to use chopsticks when you go to a Chinese food buffet. Yeah, it encourages slower eating.
Yeah, every time you figure out how to use the sticks, you
exactly, it slows you down. So it says studies have shown that overweight people usually opt for forks or spoons at a Chinese food buffet. And you know, it is annoying with those chopsticks, and you can eat faster when you have your fork or your spoon. So it also says when you eat dinner out or at home, if you keep clearing the plates away, your brain thinks that you can eat more. And remember we talked about that with the alcohol, which you educated me, and that's actually a bragging point. I didn't realize that. Okay. So you leave your plates on the table, and it gives your brain cues that you've eaten enough and that you will have less tendency to keep eating or ordering more. Another tip is water-based soups eaten before your entree makes you eat 25% less calories overall when you eat out. Another tip is when the entree comes to your table, and it says if it looks like it could feed a linebacker from the Dallas Cowboys, then ask the waiter to immediately take half or a third away and put it in a doggy bag so that you can, you know, out of sight, out of mind. And I've actually done that. Italian restaurants, they're famous for giving you a lot of food.
Right.
So if I don't just cut it in half and put it to the side, well then sometimes I have actually asked, can you put half of that away? Because I really like it, and I just want to go from one end of the plate to the next. So that helps me to control myself. Right. And then you don't have to worry about wanting to go to sleep right after, because you know, call that term. And I'm not going to say that word, but anyway.
What term is it?
I'm not using that word.
Right.
Huh? The itis word. And another tip is adjust versus purge some old habits. So if you have an old habit, like going to get ice cream every weekend, try something new like low-fat frozen yogurt with fruit. Also, trying to purge a habit and doing it all at once, you're kind of setting yourself up. Right. And it says to use fruit with yogurt for dessert versus pastries. Because, you know, pastries are full of trans fats and sugar. And it says don't deprive yourself. Keep your comfort foods, but eat them in smaller amounts and eat them less often. So there goes my Lay's potato chips. I'm not going to I'm not going to deny myself, because then I feel like I'm being punished.
Right, right.
You know, and when people, they see me, they're like, I need to lose 40 pounds, and I've got to stop eating this, and I just look, and I just say, well, we have a non-diet approach, and they still say, oh, but I've got to cut this out, and I just look and say, okay, because they're not really hearing what I'm saying,
Right.
and they're so used to people saying, you can't eat this,
Right,
and you can't
right.
eat that. But if it's a lifestyle, I mean, can you really seriously say you're never going to have a burger? You're never going to eat pizza again? I mean, that just takes the enjoyment out of life, you know? And it says to start one thing at a time. So don't try to change all your eating habits at once, unless it says you're being selected for the Olympics, or you're getting ready to get up on a stage and people are going to be judging your body. Then, yeah, you do have to cut those things out. But if this is a lifestyle, then, you know.
I know you deal with a lot of fitness, but how much of this is mental, and how much of this would someone need to seek out a counselor for? Only because, as you say, you want to have smaller portions, you want to have, but it's a mind thing.
The whole thing is mental.
Right.
Whether it's fitness, whether it's how you're eating, it really is mental. And if you are not, remember we were talking about the different stages, and if you are mentally not ready for change, that's all mental. You have to prepare your mind first before you actually get up and do something and stick with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you notice when you're training with people, if they're mentally tough? Because people might just, I might be with Ian all the time and say, you know what, we're going to go to the gym. But because I'm with him, I go all the time. But you might see that enthusiasm, you might not see what you used to see in the training, and the results, because obviously I'm going home and doing something totally different.
Exactly.
So can you pick that up on people?
You can pick that up. And a prime example, there were these two ladies that were coming every week, and they were doing 2 classes a week every week. Well, this summer, they both went on vacation, and then the other one retired.
Okay.
And that other one, the second one, hasn't been back yet. She hasn't been back since.
Oh.
That was, and what I realized, because I was thinking she was motivating the other lady. They were motivating each other. They were training buddies. They were workout buddies. But when this one particular lady, when she retired, she's lost all of her motivation, and she says, April, I'm trying, but I just can't get it together. I can't. It's the mental thing. And I said, why don't you at least come and then see? And I said, why don't you try, because the class that she was doing, it's a hard class. It's circuit training, but you are like going and you're doing things in like 50-second intervals. I said, why don't you try something like Zumba or Soca Fit? Because it is fun. You're dancing. She likes to dance. She says, I can't motivate myself to even come through the doors. And so when I saw her training partner, she had started taking the seniors classes. And she's there. She's like, oh, and I told her, she asked if her friend was coming. I said, no, she misses you. And she said, oh, man. So she called her right then and there. And but their schedules aren't the same. So we usually encourage you to get a training buddy, because when one of you is out of it, the other one will push you. And it's rare when you're both not feeling it at the same time. So So it's mental right now, and I can't make her come. All I say is, well, we're here for when you are ready. And there's another lady that was coming. She was doing really well, and then it got really, really busy at work. And she says, April, and she sees me, she feels guilty, and I'm like, there's no judgment here. No guilt here. We're open every week. So when you're ready, we are here. She says, you see, I've gained weight. I'm like, yeah, but it's okay when you're ready. So it is mental. It's to leave your desk and change your clothes, walk out the building.
All the excuses why you shouldn't do it.
I mean, so you have to get past that point, but it's up to that person to get them past. And yes, having that buddy is there, but if they don't have that extra motivation,
I'll skip today. I'll go tomorrow. I'll go twice tomorrow.
Right,
Tomorrow
and
come.
that doesn't happen.
You know what? I'll double up tomorrow.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so I always tell people when you do come, write it on a calendar, someplace that you can see it, so that that's your motivation. And if you don't feel like going the next day, you're like, well, okay, I went yesterday,
Right.
and I have these many days to get a few
Right.
more in.
Right.
And that's the other reason why I tell people, when you start, don't go all out and say, I'm going to go 7 days a week and write it, because it's not going to last.
Right.
You're going to burn yourself out in the first week.
My final question would be the level of training as opposed to amateur and professional. What's the in-between?
I guess the in-between could be lifestyle, because professional, you've got to get up, you have to do what you have to do regardless of how you're feeling.
Right.
And you just have to work through it.
Mm-hmm.
And even when your body is telling you stop and you're thinking, well, I have this game, I have this competition, whatever, you just have to work through it and work through the pain, work through the tiredness. Amateur, you're like, I'm going because I should work out, you know, and you're not on anyone else's timeline.
Right.
You're setting your own goals, or if you have a trainer, no one is going to sit there and judge you and say, okay, how much body fat, you know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you look at it like this is a lifestyle, this what I put in today is going to help me to be healthier tomorrow.
Right.
And if you look at it that way, and then you find something that you actually enjoy, to me, that's that in between.
Right.
That's that sweet spot.
Because I know a lot of people use, if they're home, they use videotapes to train alongside. Now, on the video, it doesn't tell you that this person's a professional trainer.
Yeah.
So you're actually, he or she is thinking on a professional level. You on an amateur level trying to do that intensity, you could possibly... You
can hurt yourself.
Right.
Yes, yes. And there are some videos that will break it down. Like those old ones, the old aerobics of James Garner, where she had like 2 or 3 different levels.
Right.
Back then, they used to tell you, if you are a beginner, this is
follow this, yes.
If you are this, follow this. If you want more intensity, the firm parts, they're really good with breaking it down and giving you 3 different levels to follow as well. And I like those types of videos. Then you have P something, that guy that does
right.
Can't remember his name. But it has like letters and numbers. Insane. Another one is So that's like, and for someone that doesn't normally exercise to just jump up and do that, yes, you can hurt yourself unless you're honest with yourself and say, okay, well, I may not be able to go full out, or I may not be able to do that many, but I'll do as much as I can. And that's why in my classes I say, okay, if you feel you need to stop at any time, stop. You know, if this, you know, I give modifications. If this right here is too difficult or it's painful, then do it this way. And, you know, just do what feels comfortable for you. Don't try to keep up at a level where you're not. And I've seen people start here, and I can see them getting stronger, and I'm like, wow, you know, I normally have to rock it out for a bit to give you some downtime, but you guys are, now it's getting easy for you, so I'm revving it up some more, and I would even check in, like, how are you doing, and you know, is this getting easy for you, because I know it's feeling easy for me, but I'm used to it, and just the other day, they were like, yeah, it's easy now, and they used to huff and puff this one song, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to rev it up some more, you know, because if it's too easy, then you're not really doing anything because your body has adjusted to it. And I just said, you know, if it's too easy, you're wasting your time and your money. So I have to constantly, you know, measure where they are and then go from there.
P90X?
Yes.
Very important.
Yes. And then there are people that can that are motivated enough to
do the exercises at
Mhm.
home. There are some people that have home gyms and they will do it.
Right.
And then there are other people that buy this equipment and they become clothes
Furniture.
hangers.
Yeah, furniture.
Yes, or
Yeah,
furniture.
yeah.
You know, and so I don't like to have stuff like that in my
Mhm.
home unless I'm going to be home and I can't afford to go
Right.
somewhere, because then it's like it's nagging me saying,
Right.
well, do it.
But that's
do
what I
it.
was saying, like before. A lot of people don't like to train with other people
Mhm.
because of the fact that they don't like how they look.
Right.
And until
Right.
they get to a certain point,
Mhm.
will they come out?
Yeah, there are a
So
lot of
they'll
people
get a
like that.
videotape and they'll stay home
Yeah,
in that living room by themselves.
there are people like
And
that.
you know what they'll do?
Mhm.
When they finish training at home,
Mhm.
order pizza. Average.
But they'll feel good the fact that they've
And
done
Yes.
something.
Yes.
For them,
Yes.
for them, it's satisfying that
Yes.
they've actually worked out.
Right.
And again, it becomes a mental thing that,
Yeah.
okay, now I worked out, I can go eat that.
Yeah.
Right, but it's
Yeah.
wrong. But if you have a partner with you
Mhm.
that will motivate you not just in training but in nutrition,
Mhm.
you'll understand it better.
Yeah, but people do things in secrecy because
Yes.
they
Don't
want,
want to be judged.
right.
Too. And there are people
So
that
they have
say
outside.
when I'm in better shape I will
I
come.
will come out.
And I get that.
Right.
I get that. I've even done that before. I'm like, well, let me get my body to this place
Mhm.
and then I
Yes.
will,
Yeah.
but I know me. I know that I will get myself
Mhm.
there. But there are a lot of people that do that.
Yeah.
They train before they
Before-
train
that's right.
in
Yeah.
a certain setting.
If
Yeah.
they want to make sure, they'll come and they'll say, how long is your class? And you'll say, okay, 90 minutes.
Uh-huh.
But before I get to your class, for that 90 minutes, I have to be able to be sure that I can do 90 minutes. So I'm
Right.
going to stay home for a month,
Yeah.
do it,
Yes.
still
Get
eat
my
what I
endurance
want, yeah.
up. Yep.
But then when I come to the class, I can be more committed
Yes.
because now I've got other people with me, kind of thing.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
Yeah. And then there are people just the opposite that will only exercise with other
other people, yeah.
and
That's
that
true.
is their motivation. So you get people on
Both sides.
both
yeah.
sides of the spectrum.
Mm.
At the end of the day, they get the result.
Yeah.
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 But for some
Whatever
people,
is necessary
for
to
some
get the
people,
result.
Mhm.
the result is I just want to sweat and
Yeah.
feel as if I'm losing weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or,
You're right.
or getting in shape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once they've accomplished that with a workout,
Yes.
the rest of the day goes by and
It really
yeah,
does. But I mean, but then don't you feel that way too? Like I've done my workout
Yeah.
today. Okay.
right,
Now I can face the rest of the day.
Right.
You know. That's-
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, but your workout is different.
What?
Your workout, right?
My workout?
Yeah, it's different than
Me?
the average.
Personally or
Well,
or
personally,
the ones?
personally.
Oh, well, yeah,
Yes, yes.
because I have, yes,
Right.
because I, yeah.
So when you're going at 50%, the person that's new to you could be going at 95%,
Yes, that's true.
and so that plays a big part in it.
Yes, and I had to recognize that because I do push myself hard. And when I first started doing the classes, I'm like, okay, all right. And people were, I was like, bring it down some more, bring it down some more.
Mhm.
And I was thinking, wow, are you tired? You know, in my speech bubble, I'm like, really, you tired? And I'm realizing that these people are just
Just
getting
starting
off
out.
their
Yeah.
chairs from work or their
Mhm,
couch.
mhm.
And so,
Takes
yeah.
a little while longer to get going.
Right. And so I'm able to adjust it to any level. I mean, that's cool. But I like it, and I like when I can see that they're getting stronger. And even with the seniors, you know, I have them do different things that they're not used to. And even when we're doing the abs, I'm like, I see you. I see you. You're getting stronger. You
Right.
can do more. You can hold it longer. So it's
Cool.
good.
Well, we'll have you back on next week.
Yeah.
It's Energizer Bunny.
Yeah. Well, hey, look at our name. Energized Wellness
Wellness.
Solution.
It works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Oh,
Joining
thank you
us.
for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Sure.
And we'll be back with you next week, Monday.
Yeah, I enjoyed this back and forth.
Cool. I'm sure you have something up your sleeve next week.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will.
It's getting close to candy time.
That's right, Halloween. So we gotta be careful.
Reward yourself.
Well, I'm just not disciplined for that. I won't be buying any candy because people don't come in our neighborhood. I don't know why. It's a really lovely neighborhood.
You might
No
tell
one
them come
comes for candy.
Hey, That's a house that everybody does fitness on. We'll skip that.
Yeah.
We'll skip.
They don't have any
Trick or treat. Well, come in. The music's on. Gotta do some aerobics.
Right.
All right, let me give me an apple.
Right. What do you want to drink? Want some soda? No, I have water. Like you said, give you an apple, right? An orange, a grapefruit.
Quick, kids, walk across that gate real fast.
Let me give you some broccoli.
No, that's why my children like them. Well, last year we took the children trick-or-treating, but my Uncle Wayne used to take them, and they really liked it, and they want to start eating before they get home. So, because my mom's just going to throw away our candy. But, I keep it around for about a week or 2 weeks, and then I give it away. And the stuff that sticks, I toss it. I put it underneath stuff so they don't see it. But all the good stuff, like Snickers and Milky Ways, I eat those puppies. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I don't buy the candy, because I don't have any
So we know to have on the 30th of October.
Because
Halloween's on the 31st.
I'm not getting in there. Chocolate bar?
It's a possibility.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I can help you out.
You'll assist? You'll assist?
I will assist.
All right. Snickers and
Oh, yeah.
Milky Way.
Yes, I do like
But
that.
they could be considered energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're working out.
Oh, they could be
Even
considered
if
energy if you're not.
Yeah, exactly. When I used to study for finals, I used to get Coca-Cola and Snickers bar, and that's what I used to use to keep me awake. See, they didn't have Red Bull back then.
No.
But
When I used to study, I can't remember the number, but they knew my apartment very well in Atlanta. Pizza Hut.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
oh my
They
goodness.
knew.
But yeah, I do like that Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Pizza. More so than Domino's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll
All
take a
right,
commercial break. We'll be back after
Thank you.
this. Okay.
Yeah, I just know that I don't have control over certain.
Hey, let me ask you this. I should have asked you here.
Mm-hmm.
You know Shamila? Sons.
More about faith, but
She does quite well. Say, I'm training for her.
uh-huh.
And we're doing cardio Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. And I find that Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays is my best day of play. So we get back into training. I can eat clean. I lift weights on the Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, cardio and weights.
Okay.
But the heavy weights lifting days is Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays, right? I find that I snack on the Tuesday, Thursday, and the Saturday.
You probably need it.
No, I don't need it. I'm trying to say, like, I find that my cardio is great, my run is great, but I don't get hungry.
Right.
I do eat now, but I'm just saying, I do battle on Monday, Wednesday, and the Friday. Before I went to the slump in August and started to get back into it. I told her this, hey, on Tuesdays, I'm running again. I'm going to run on Tuesday mornings, and I'll do legs afterwards.
And that run, I find it releases those endorphins, and just because I find when I do stuff like that, I don't want to eat junk.
That's my point. That's what I'm trying to say.
But with the weight trainer,
it makes you eat junk. Yeah.
I exerted myself. I'm getting a doggone Twix bar.
but then you know, full body shouldn't eat that, right? Like this morning, I've been training at Beach Gym 45 minutes, sweat and everything. Then went for a 2.5, 3 mile run. Then hit the weights. I'm feeling great. Y'all sleeping too and everything, right? Right?
Yeah, we saw you. We were watching you as your eyes were closed just now.
But the fact is, like, I don't get hungry. Now, tomorrow if I don't do any cardio,
yeah. You exert more.
That's what it
do
is.
the weight training. I'm going to look that up. I'll tell you.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
Sure. Definitely. Thanks.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
I will.
Cool. Well, I know you got a busy schedule here at your space. Just give a quick update on, again, the American League playoffs. Interesting. Houston's going up 2-1. It's the bottom of the second. Bases are loaded. Nobody out in Boston.
In Boston.
In Boston. Okay. Nobody out. And Houston's up 2-1. So it'll be interesting if they can get some runs in after this. And I must admit that I think Houston had the bases loaded in the top of the second.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
Bean time.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, what's on tap for you in sports tonight? What you covering tonight, sir?
Let's see. Where you even start?
You say you have 11 stories.
Well,
You can trim the fat down to like 3 or 4.
can't remember what I was starting off with. Well, obviously football.
Yeah.
We had the Round the Sound swim yesterday.
That's right.
What else was over the weekend? Karting was on. Basketball was on. We've had rugby. Let's go through Saturday.
Wow.
The first equestrian horse jumping event took place at VZ Street. Cross country series resumed at Fort Scour on Saturday morning. It's full day Saturday. Obviously, Saturday was the first Premier Division game at 3 o'clock, and first division game at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
That was interesting.
Somerset and Dendytown, and then that was at Somerset, and in Malabar was Ireland Rangers and St. David's. Got another first division match on Saturday coming up. That's St. George's playing, down St. George's. I can't remember who they're playing, but it's been a long weekend, but a good one. Another weekend coming up. Obviously, on Saturday it's the torch run for Special Olympics. Sunday morning is triathlon at St. David's. In Hamilton, we'll see the Argus 5K, I believe. So this weekend, and actually this weekend, because we had them on as guests about 2 weeks ago, the ITF Junior Tennis Tournament gets underway on Friday night.
Thank you.
At the WER Joe Tennis Stadium. So, a lot coming up this weekend.
All right. Cool. Well, we'll be back next Monday. For sure.
Okay.
All right. Don Best, enjoy the rest of your day, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
as
sir.
well.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.